nations act upon their interest. And now it happened that every nation's interest has aligned with one tyrant in Iran. Therefore, the world has united under a banner of Islamic Republic of Iran. The world's interest is to get their supplies, get their stuff through that hand of that tyrant. And the tyrant also agreed to give the stuff to the world. The only one on the way is Trump. Therefore, the world is not only united under the banner of Islam, but united under the banner of Islam against America. So all of them, the world has a common enemy. And in America, a common ally in Iran, because Iran wants to give them their stuff, and the USA does not allow. Therefore, and it was not intentionally, but then that's how it become. And can you tell me, can it get worse than that? And which means no matter how strong America is against the world, it has been singled out and against the world. And the pressure will build up on America. And let's say they kick Americans kick Trump out, and then the worst president would be even weaker. And in a weaker position, the Democrats are much weaker, and so it goes from bad to worse. First, you have to know a solution. I mean, change a person does not change the situation. And the problem is not so much of Trump. The problem are the Americans themselves. The people that choose him twice, they're still there, and nothing will change that. And the fact that when Trump and Israel started the war, it was best day of my life, and best day of most of the Iranians' life. The majority, which is 80%, they celebrated, and many for that celebration end up getting shot dead, or was taken to prison and tortured. And there's some still in prison. Because of showing their feeling. And then Israel and Trump was delivering justice. But then there are no angels, and at the end, the justice will be served to them also. And that's a time that you can say when the two evils fighting, they deliver justice to each other. And but then we should know that when two evils fighting, yes, Trump is losing, and so he deserves to lose, but then the problem is America also losing. And the only way that, the only choice that Trump has is to cut and run, and basically give the Middle East to Iran. And Middle East will unite, all the Muslims unite under the banner of Islam, and Iran is the only country that carries such banner. So therefore, yes, the world and all of the Middle East united under such banner, and all against America. And if you remember, GCC countries, no matter how much they got hit, they didn't fire a single shot back at Iran, because they knew at the end they have to turn to Iranian side. And yesterday, Iran took two of their ships, and Trump said, it's not ours, it's your problem. It's not Israeli nor American ships, therefore, Iran, you're at the mercy of Iran. And so they know they have to turn to Iranian side and accept that banner, and they have to gather under that banner. Which means Iran will provide the security for Arabs, and America already gave up. And those bases all hit, and they closed, and America is on the run. And the other choice for America to totally surrender to all their demands, and that means if they lose, then America is out of Middle East anyhow. No matter if they admit defeat or not, surrender or not, have an agreement or not, the only agreement would be for them to surrender. They say, yeah, Iran is suffering, but actually they don't, because the blockage is a phony. Trump blocked Iranian ships, but not Chinese ships. And it would be interesting if the Chinese, the blockage is not tested yet, because no Chinese ships try to cross through. Would Trump stop Chinese ships, considering he has a meeting with his friend next month with Xi Jinping? And he doesn't want to offend his friend. his friendship is more important than anything else, his ego and whatever he planned to do with China, which is, and the thing was that if Khamenei, supreme leader of Iran, was the size of Putin, then he would not kill him. He would respect him. And that's the word of snakes, a word, small evil, big evil. But then now Trump will know his size, that he's even smaller than Iran, a third-rate country. And smaller than those guys that defeated him, dead or alive. So we should be happy about this war because justice is getting delivered to every side, every party. About GCC leaders, they bankrolled the genocide in Africa, in Sudan. To this day, UAE bankrolling the genocide in South Sudan, and also in Somalia and in Yemen. How many children died of malnutrition because they paid for those wars? And according to in the Muslim eyes, there are traitors. And of course, these are dictatorships, these are not democracies, and they are not liked, they are not attractive. And for the people that flock to Dubai for money, they're all gone. It was like flies around the sweet. They sucked the sweet and they just all flew away. And nobody was loyal. There's no loyalty. Money does not bring loyalty. It was a sick place. It was a castle built on the sand and everything collapsed. I know because I had a business there, I was there. But then we learned a lot. These things we could not predict, even though that every military analyst said we cannot, if we start a war with Iran, we cannot open the strait, and then this will happen. So they knew it will happen. But Trump was not wrong because he thought that the regime would collapse. If you decapitate the head, now you can get anything from Venezuelan government. Trump can extract anything from Venezuelan government. They never fought. But then when they decapitated the head of the Iranian regime, they realized that it was not a centipede, but it was fire ants. Which means he would have a total success if he would kill Putin. If Trump would kill Putin, then because Russia is a centipede, it just want a small head and everybody follow that head. You kill Putin and that's it. The regime would change its ways and the things will change. And I believe same in China. You kill Xi Jinping and things will change. But then Trump see them as his equals, and then Trump admire them because they are big bullies like himself. But then the fact was the other way around. Those were smaller because those two do not have an ideology, don't have a backbone. And a fire ant, every ant has its own head. And you have to kill all the fire ants. You have to in Iran you have to kill all of them, and that all of them is comprised of 20% of the population that pro regime. 80% of us hate the regime, but then we are unarmed and we cannot do anything. Maybe during the demonstration he should have airdrop arms, and then otherwise we could not come to your aid. And even if there's a ground invasion, we cannot do anything, and we just get slaughtered. And there is no point to kill yourself when you know you cannot do anything. And and if Trump hits the Iranian infrastructure, he tested them. He tested the Iranian regime. He said, if you don't agree, I will hit your infrastructure. And they didn't blink. Actually, they wanted in their heart Trump to do that because they know majority of people hate the regime, and they are the ones that would be hurt the most. And the supporter of the regime, they get privileges to get through those hard times. They get generators, they get fuel, and they get internet. For instance, Iran to this day have no internet, but they have the regime supporters. They get special cards, and they have a connection. They are connected to internet. So, and the more dire situation gets, the gap grows between have and have-nots in Iran. And basically hitting the Iranian infrastructure is hitting the opposition. And then maybe Trump don't care because they said the opposition cannot do anything, therefore it not exist. And then he would do his thing. But Iranian regime wants, because they are evil and ugly, they want the other side to be as ugly or uglier than them. They want Trump to commit atrocities and to be look uglier than them. And when they say you killed so many, they say Israel killed more than us. And Israel said, yes, we killed so many in Gaza, but we are fighting this evil and they killed more than us. So basically two evil, and when two evils fighting, the bigger evil come out of it. And that bigger evil is the one that is described, because it cannot get worse than that. It's just, we become speechless, and the Iranian regime and the Satan, they are laughing. And you say, who will surrender first? Of course, Iran would be the last man standing, because they believe the Iranian regime wants to send all of us, all their subjects, all Iranians, to paradise through starvation, radiation, famine. So they will go all the way to the end. And because they're Shia Muslims, they believe that the Savior will save them and appear that have some Jesus-like figure that will save them at the brink of annihilation. So they are going to the right direction, even if they know that the country will be totally destroyed. Actually, they are asking for it. And which you cannot, no other nation can boast. Even Russia and China cannot, do not want to send their subject to paradise. They don't believe in one. And but then I believe that's also, if they were desperate, they put a position like Iran, the leadership. You say tomorrow to Xi Jinping that you will die, and then said, okay, before I die, I have to invade Taiwan. If he had a month left, of course he will invade Taiwan, because he doesn't care, because after he dies, then he doesn't care. They don't believe afterlife exists, and that they will be paid for the consequences of their actions. But then you can see the three kings from East appear according to Bible. The false prophet is Iran, and he carries the banner of religion in Middle East, which no other country can boast. You are only a good Muslim if you fight with Israel and America. And otherwise you are a traitor. You are a hypocrite, and then and they have some ugly names for it. The GCC rulers and like every Arab rulers, all over, basically all Arab rulers, be called American Israeli dogs or servants, and a poodle if you be more polite, and which they are, and they are all hated. So yeah, they wish for Iranian victory, and if there is a ground war, many of these Muslims, even a fraction of them, join the jihad and fight on the ground. It would be a big problem. 80% of Iranian, they want America to invade their country and finish the problem once for all. But then that 20%, because population of Iran is 93 million, so they still have, you're facing 18 million, and they can easily bring 1 million, and they still have 1 million, and they can, there never be shortage of men they can bring from neighboring countries, which 100% or 90% will be against the American. It's just like I cannot shed my name, I could not change my name, I cannot tell you I'm Christian, you look at me as a Muslim, but I can tell you we are Ukrainian, and the rest of Muslims are Russians. And then so you understand the difference. The other Muslims, except Iranians, they think hijab is good, and they think the Iranian opposition are traitors. They are the fifth column of Israel. So therefore, they are totally indifferent to our suffering and this massacre.